Hi everybody, how are you enjoying this class? I hope you're learning so much. I want to quickly, or as quickly as I can, share with you a little bit about essential oils, how I support them with my kids, my son and my baby. We're not going to dive into everything tonight. I usually go through much more in depth in our 101 type classes, go through each oil, how to use them, safety, aromatically, topically, the oils you can digest. All of these things I cover in my 101 class. So if you would like to be invited to that, please let me know and you can have more information as we go more in depth in those classes. But for tonight, I'm just going to touch just a little bit so you can get an idea of how I use them with my kids. So with the oils, I recommend always diluting them with your children. You can always start on their feet just because there's less chance of having a reaction on their feet. And some of the favorites I use are lavender, of course. We use this often. My son's kind of blend for nighttime, he loves, and he's 4. I put in his diffuser lavender and cedarwood together, okay, or the 3 and the peace and calming. So those are kind of his go-to. We also use tummy jives for him often. This is from the kids line. They have several oils in the kids line. I don't have all of them to show you here, but I wanted to show you this as an example. And it is already pre-diluted in an organic coconut oil, so you don't have to do anything. You can just put this right on their feet, on their tummies, and rub. For my baby, I will dilute it just a little bit more and then rub on. As far as dilution with kids, it is a tablespoon for infants to about 2, and then from 2 to 5 with kids you can do it in a teaspoon diluting. And a carrier oil is just going to be a fatty oil that's going to help dilute the oil, makes it spread easier, and it actually carries it into your body, so you don't feel like it's being less effective. It's actually helping to carry it into your body. So I get organic fractionated coconut oil. Fractionated is just what's going to stay liquid at room temperature instead of being like the hard in the jar. So what I usually do is squirt some of that, okay? Then I take the oil, I drop it in my hand, and then I rub it, and then I'll rub the bottom of their feet or their back, just depending on what area is needing support, okay? If it's immune, I usually like to do lemon and thieves with my son. I haven't used it on my daughter yet. Frankincense, all are great for immune support, and I'll do that, rub on his feet and spine. And I also have this in his little backpack. This is his thieves roller that gets rolled on his feet and spine before going in public, going to school or church, things like that. Personally, for adults, I end up adding oregano into my immune, okay? So those are a couple different things I use with them. For my daughter, who is an infant, she's 4 months old, I have used diluted, which I only use like 1 drop to, it was probably 3 tablespoons at least. I just estimate it. It's not an exact science to me. I put it in a little ramekin jar, just squirted a bunch of coconut oil in there, put 1 drop of fennel, and then I just put it on my fingers and just rubbed her belly, just gently did a massage on her belly for the times that she was upset. It helped to kind of calm her tummy. And then Gentle Baby, it only is it's gentle for kids, but it doesn't take much, so the same thing. I only did 1 drop, and I did an infant massage with her. I rubbed her feet, I rubbed her belly, rubbed her back, and it just kind of helped calm her down. So I've used that with her. And then the other thing, one of my favorite things with her is the Tender Tush diaper cream. And I love it. It smells wonderful. It's not super thick like your regular ones, so you can pop it in the fridge if you want it a little thicker. But I love it because it is free of mineral oil, synthetic perfumes, artificial colorings, and it has all non-toxic ingredients. So my number one reason why I love this is because it's petroleum free. Again, you can do more research on that on your own, but that is something that we do not use, and it can be harmful to your health if you have petroleum that gets into your body. It actually coats your cells, and so it affects your body not in a positive way. So I try to avoid using that on my kids. And again, like the chest rub we talked about earlier, I use that with RC on him, and put it in some coconut oil and use as a chest rub to avoid that petroleum. Now, with children, you're going to find all sorts of conflicting information, and me personally, I have found that I prefer to do my due diligence and my research, find out what I'm comfortable doing, and understand where the research is coming from. Ask the person, maybe where they got that from. If it was a specific blog article or something, not everything is always accurate, which is surprising, right? On the internet, you can't trust everything on the internet. So be careful of your source, be cautious, and my number one tip is to go with your mama gut. Okay, a lot of times you know what's best for your child and you know what works for them. So try something on their feet and see how it does first. Me personally, in children under 2, I like to avoid any menthol oils, which includes wintergreen, peppermint, which is like the RC and things like that. So there are always other oils to use, okay? So don't feel like, oh, that cuts out so much. Myrtle is a wonderful option in children for respiratory support without using a menthol type oil. So I hope that helps answer some of your questions on how I use them with children. To me, it has been so wonderful and valuable, and I've become much more comfortable the second time around. I know as moms typically you're so much more cautious the first time, but with her I'm confident, and I know that these things are wonderful, especially in comparison to some of the other products that are out there geared towards babies and children. So I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions on using oils with babies and children, please let me know and comment in this post.